18. Welcome everybody. Welcome from people from AMC, GMC, SMC, and Manipur and Tripura. So see, the technology is such that we are so geographically in different place, but technology has brought all of us together in the same platform. Okay, we will be talking on acetabulum today. You know, acetabulum is one of the best important thing in orthopedics practice, and it needs a better understanding about the mechanism of fractures, and it's really a challenging task to restore it back to the normal congruent joint. It's a challenging task. Anyway, we'll be talking, but before that, as you know that we always start with some philosophy. So today's philosophy is Ivam parapara papta mimang rajajay vidu so kalanaha mahata julgang nasta parang tapah. So ebayang tatta juga pukta puratana bhakta sime sima seti rahasya heturitayam. So meaning is that is knowledge is percolating down from God to the human being. But in between, in the percolations, there is some sort of distortion as well. So that is why the Gita is there to correct us. And it is also true for us in day-to-day practice that you relay something to someone, it gets distorted somehow. Anyway, that is the philosophy of today. Now we'll talk about the acetabulum. So before going to the actually subject proper, I think better understanding with the acetabulum is very important. Many times we find it very difficult to comprehend the sometimes the X-ray. X-ray becomes so difficult sometimes to understand. Why it happens so? Like to why it happens so? So it is all because of the fact this anatomical configuration is such that the X-ray unable to delineate it nicely. Why it happens so? And why it is so important to us? We'll talk one by one. One thing is true. For restorations of this your fracture acetabulum, it is essentially an interarticular fracture. And in interarticular fracture, as you all know, that is mandatory to have a good reduction, anatomical reduction. There should not be any step. If so, up to 2 mm is acceptable. Nowadays it is coming down to 1 mm. Then you must have a good construction and stability, and preferably give a early mobilization. And in case of your acetabulum, it's really a challenging task in the sense that it is very deeply seated inside the soft tissue. So much muscles, so much important structures are nearby that sometimes it is very difficult to address. And it is sometimes very difficult to comprehend the fracture. It is very difficult to comprehend the fracture, what exactly and where is the fracture, one point. Number two, proximity to the important structures, particularly the plexus. Here we do have a very important structure, this is called corona mortis. Anybody who knows about the corona mortis? Corona mortis is your ring of death. Corona means round or circle. Corona mortis means ring of death. So ring of death is somewhere here in this area. And this is the communications between the inferior epigastric artery and obturator artery. I am talking some important relevant things in context to this acetabulum. What are the important structure lying by? Mechanically, you can approach it and do the reconstructions, but it is true, but by doing so, it's not very easy always, because of these important structures nearby. One important structure I have mentioned about the corona mortis here. Then again in posterior side you have the sciatic nerve here coming up. Then also superior gluteal artery. You have the external iliac artery, common iliac artery. Then so many important structures nearby. Femoral artery is also anteriorly. So you have femoral artery, corona mortis, sciatic nerve, lumbar plexus, then the inferior superior gluteal artery, then your common iliac artery, then external iliac artery. So many important structures is nearby. You cannot just jeopardize any of them. That is one of the challenging task and difficult decision. And corona mortis, why I am stressing here, this part is easy to approach, but once a corona mortis is also not present, one is lucky thing that just like your palmaris longus, you may not have the corona mortis present in all the cases. It is around 10 to 15% of the cases it is present. But those who are present, if somehow get injured, it leads to a disaster. So that is another point. So one has to be very careful while working over here. And other structure you all know, which are all nearby and all challenging tasks. So these are the important neurovascular component which is challenging one. Let us talk little bit of the acetabulum and the anatomical thing. Now first thing let us talk something about the pelvis also. Why it is very difficult to comprehend in the X-ray. Why it is so? So if you look at this part of the pelvis, you all know that is a pubis, ischium, ilium or a congruent together to form the acetabulum. These are the components, ischium, ilium and the pubis. Okay? But their orientation is not always same. If you look carefully, you will find the obliquity of the ilium, the angle is making this angle with the obturator relation. What is the relationship of obturator with the ilium? They are almost 90 degree. This ilium is making an angle with the obturator at an angle of 90 degree. They are not same plane. One point. Number two, again pubis and the sacrum, ischium. Another interesting point is here that this plane, in the corneal plane, they are making an angle of 45 degree. See, this is making an angle of obturator which is 90 degree, not in same plane. They are making an angle. On the other hand, the pubis is making another angle, not in same plane. See, another angle of 45 degree from the corneal plane. And the ischial part is also making an angle around 45 degree posteriorly. So many things, see, ilium 90 degree, pubis is 45 degree anteriorly, ischial part is 45 degree behind. See, that is why all these things are not in same plane. So in a plane X-ray, it's sometimes so difficult to comprehend why, because of the fact that we unable to have this film in a same film. They are not in same line. All are making angular angle. Once there is an obliquity is there, if you take the view, this view is not very proper and unable to delineate in details. That is why simple X-rays are not very easy. Now that is the gross orientations of the different part of the pelvis. That is one. Next point is that you all know that is while talking about the acetabulum, we talk about the columns. You know, today's scenario while talking about the anatomy, today's scenario is that this is all columns. we try to express most of the thing under columns. Under column. Under column, what is this column? You all know that you talk about the distal radius, again column. Again nowadays tibia upper end is also expressed in columns. So probably there after some time you may get another column coming up for the distal tibia also, which is not existent. Probably there is a tendency, and also in the wrist joint elbow we do have columns. So this concept of columns is nowadays is the way of expressing because columns give support. This makes us understand where to give what support in a case of trauma or fracture. That is why the concept of column is coming out. So in this case, while we are unable to comprehend so many things, we must salute 3 persons in this field who have immense contributions or better understanding of the acetabulum. Yes? Can you name? Letternet, then Mata, yes or no? Judith. You must actually salute these persons, 3 persons from France. These 3 persons has immense contributions in the field of your acetabulum fractures and better understanding. And they are the persons in 1964 onwards, this area, particularly 60 after. These are the 3 persons who has immensely contributed in the field of better understanding of the acetabulum. They are the persons who has expressed the acetabulum in the line of your columns, and also what are the approaches one have to make and how to go for the better understanding. So these 3 persons, Judith, Letternet and Mata, we must salute. All the persons are from France. So all the persons are from France who has immensely contributed for better understanding of the acetabular fracture. So the concept of your column shapes come from them. What is this concept? This column is there, one column is coming from front, another column is coming from the behind. Let us understand. This is your anterior column. What is this? The comprising of pubis, pecten pubis, half of your acetabulum, see half of the acetabulum is here. Then go upward, top, greater part of the ilium is actually in the, greater part of the ilium is basically in the anterior column. See, and the posterior column, scale spine, scale tuberosity, posterior part of your acetabulum, and the sciatic nerves, up to sciatic nerves. This column is short and this column is very long. So it is a long column, it is a short column, and in between you have this articular surface of your acetabulum. So to understand that is, you have a one column here which is supporting here, another column is coming like this. This is giving a shape of your inverted Y. This is giving a shape of inverted Y where your articular surface is resting. So this part is very important in between the 2 columns. So you must have the, before going to the acetabulum proper for fracture, one must have clear understanding what the column mean to us. One point, what are the constituent of these columns and how exactly they are situating here. So this should to be always clear everybody's mind, that anterior columns runs from the pubis, it is pecten pubis, then this part ilium, then iliac tuberosity. So what is this ilium column is also actually basically a gluteal maximus, gluteus medius attachment. So this half is known as the anterior column. Posterior column is starting from here and it is being supporting here. So these 2 columns meeting at the part and you have this articular surface lying in between. This part is called quadrangular plate. This area side, this part.
What's
Yes, this part is a quadrangular. Quadrangular in shape. See, it is quadrangular in shape. That is
plate?
quadrangular plate. You can say plate. Quadrangular. It's middle. It is a wall of this pelvis. So this part should be clear. And in a normal situation, the head is being inside this acetabulum. It covers around 170 degree of the head. 360 degree in globular. So normally it covers 170 degree in all these situations. So this is anterior column, this is posterior column, this is the articular surface in between, this is your quadrangular plate, and this is the sciatic plate, sciatic notch area. This part is very important. So this is area where the weight bearing zone is going. So you are supposed to have better understanding about this column. One column, two column, then is this pecten pubis is very important, so landmark, because this pecten pubis indicates this area, indicates your head is just beneath it. In this situation, the head is beneath this. So on the other hand, see, in the articular surface of the acetabulum, see, it is horseshoe shaped head. This is horseshoe shaped head. And this is also important that if you have greater part of the horseshoe is intact, probably we are all in safer side. If you have greater part of the horseshoe intact, we talk about this acetabular index later on. The importance you must understand, the articular surface is horseshoe shaped. This is cotyloid, this is not being a non-articular area. We are more concerned about this area. And we also understand between the importance of the horseshoe, the part, plus horseshoe. So anterior part is mostly concerned about the extension part. Posteriorly we have this posterior column, posterior part is more important for the flexion. Again you suppose understand. I am taking deliberately more time in making you understand before going to the acetabulum. We must have a clear concept about the constituent of this area. That is why I am stressing more important rather than jumping to the flexor. To make you understand the importance, and you must have a good anatomical knowledge of this acetabulum first, then to go to the flexor. That is why I am stressing more. Then again the articular surface, I am saying that this part is more important for your extension, meaning keeping the pen straight. Yes, weight bearing zone, this is. On the other hand, posterior part is more concerned about the flexion. While you do the flexion, I am sitting, this part is more important. On the other hand, while you do the extension, while the head is going posteriorly, this area is more important. So, if a horseshoe shaped, horseshoe is also important that you do have a U shaped, and a U, both the limbs having got different functions and the junctional part has different functions.
Sir, this one, the significance of this
part. Significance. See, what is happening? See, while the head is there, while the head is there, see, I will make you understand again what I am actually talking. What I am talking is that, say, in a situation like this, so this is articular surface, here is your more concerned about weight bearing. But while I am doing the flexion, see, the head is moving posteriorly, so this part is more important for you, for flexion, posteriorly. On the other hand, while I am doing extension, limb is going posteriorly, so this part is more in contact with the anterior part. So this is your horseshoe. The articular surface of the acetabulum is horseshoe shaped. In the horseshoe also we do have two lips, one junctional part. The superior junctional part is more concerned about the weight bearing, I am saying standing. Posterior lip is more concerned for the flexion. And the anterior part is more concerned for the extension. So this part should to be clear to everybody's mind, and you must have a clear picture before embarking upon the acetabular flexor. So far you are supposed to understand, and I will also tell you the importance of the your anterior column and the posterior column.
Sir, junction is posterior.
Junction means your jungs. There are two lips, horseshoe shaped. So superior part is more concerned about the weight bearing. So anterior is extension, posterior is your flexion.
Sir, and junctional part?
Junctional means superior. This is
So
junctional
like,
part. This is weight bearing. I am standing. So this you should understand the importance of this articular surface. What is playing which role is equally very important to understand. So integrity part is important. So as such, if this part is broken, if this part is also broken, probably patients will not much difficulty in standing, but if you doing flexion and extension, probably you will most difficult. So that is why the restriction may be there, because this articular integrity probably in posteriorly anteriorly is not much there. So that is why you should understand, you supposed to have clear concept about the integrity, about the various part of this acetabulum and its function. So far this part is clear. Now I will tell you the important things of taking these views. I will talk you the different important view, and why this is important I will tell you. I will tell you this, I have already told you the important structure around. Now why you take, since the structures are not in the same plane, you sometimes do some maneuver to have the better illuminations or better understanding of the. Now, what is the meaning of this? See, while you are doing the Judet views are more concerned about the acetabular flexors. This is all clear to you. And necessarily you do some sort of rotation, sometime external, sometime internal. Why so, and why we are doing so? So let us understand this way. So a AP view of the pelvis is always important and a basic. Inlet view is coming 60 degree from the angular caudal side towards this side to show us the inlet view. Outlet view, see our inlet view, it is coming like this. Outlet view is coming like this from the caudal side. AP view is like this. Now question arises that this is enough? No, this is not enough. This view is talking more about the sacrum. This view. Yes, anterior posterior steps are more delineated in this sacrum. See, outlet view also showing so that thing, and translations particularly in this plane. AP view is always base view, based on the which we have all discussions. But what is the importance of the in acetabulum flexor is the Judet views. What is the Judet views? Judet views, since I am talking about the pelvis now taking, why you try to understand that this is a external rotation view. Now, if I am doing so, what are the sense you are taking place? I am doing 45 degree angulations of the area. Okay, this is the understand. So this is the part. Now I am doing an internal rotation like this. This is your 45 degree angle. Understood? So from this point of view, what are the things coming horizontal? What are the things coming horizontal and parallel to the ray will be delineated better? Are you getting my point? Yes or no? No. So this is your AP view. Now I am going to take the obturator view of this side. If I am going to take the operator view of this side, what I am going to do is I am going to rotate it like this. What I am doing so? Actually, I am doing this obturator foramen horizontal to the ray. By doing so, things will be more delineated. And those structures which are now coming flat or parallel to the horizontal plane will be delineated better. You are getting my point? So the things which will be horizontal will be delineated. See, in the horizontal view, this ilium is not coming to this line. This is lying like this. So it will be not delineated better. But this area will be delineated better, anterior column particular this area, because it is horizontal to the film. Other part which is oblique, it will be not delineated better. So that is why in operator view, the operator foramen is horizontal, a ray is coming like this, film is over there, it will delineate much better. This is clear. Now if I am doing ulta thing like this, now what is happening here? This is called ilial view. What is happening? This ilium is now coming horizontal to this film, is parallel, ray is coming like this, so ilium part will be delineated better. So that is why it is called ilial view, ilium view and operator view. This part should be clear, how I will do so. And you try to understand yourself, these things which will be parallel to this ray film will be delineated better in the film. So if these things are parallel, definitely that means this part will be delineated better in this view. If I am doing operator view, that means this pubis symphysis, anterior part of this, and this part will be better understand. This is also coming almost horizontal, so posterior lip will be all clear. So the anterior column will be much better delineated because all these structures are now horizontal. Now if you am doing reverse thing, now posterior part is coming almost horizontal, so this part will be delineated better, and so anterior lip is also now horizontal, so it will coming better. So now in this film you will see better the ilium, you will see the better this posterior part is the posterior column, and also the anterior lip because it is more or less horizontal. That is why I am taking more time to all this thing. We are not talking much details, but you are supposed to understand. This AP view is like this. Ilium view, ilium is horizontal, so that is why ilium is much better seen. Operator view is like this, while the operator is horizontal to film. So this is operator view, this is ilial view, this is AP view, ray is coming from the front side, inlet view, that is your outlet view. This part is clear, it intended to be clear, because for acetabulum, this basic knowledge is very important. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. But you must have good concept about these flexors configuration. Before going for the flexors, it is better to understand. Nitin, do you have anything to ask?
No, sir.
No. Is it clear to you all? So if it is clear, then we will talk something more than this. So now about the flexor, this is for the X-ray and other things. Now we will talk about the X-ray and other things later on. But as of now, these are the views on which there was a lot of development, better understanding of the flexors by the Jude's views. Who has discovered this Jude's views? By Judet, Letourneau. So they have discovered these techniques, and for better understanding, they have described about this anterior column, posterior column, and which part will be seen better in which view they have already expressed. So these are the basic things they have already expressed. But today's scenario is a bit changing with the invention of the CT scan. So CT scan with 3D reconstructions gives us a better illuminations of the morphology of the fracture. That is true. And latest development in the CT scan is multi-directional CT scan. So another addition now, latest additions to the CT scan is multi-directional CT scan. Instead of having this slice like this, you can take this CT scan in various view, various obliquity. That is another things added, but sometimes it is very difficult to comprehend because we are not accustomed with the multi-directional. We are know that if the pelvis is coming like this, slice is coming like this, interval of your 2 mm or something like that. So that will give. But nowadays, this latest thing is to go for the multi-directional CT scan. This is latest advancement. But even then, before that, all these things are very important. AP view, inlet view, outlet view, operator view, and also the ileal view. All these structures are very important to understand to comprehend the fractures in a better way without CT scan. But it is also true to understand that in a trauma situations, turning of patients to this side or turning of patient is this side is also sometimes very difficult. Yes, that is a very painful condition. So today, instead of going for the inlet and outlet views, today's concept is to go for a quick CT scan, and that will delineate much better with 3D reconstructions and give you an overview of the whole pictures instead of going for the multiple X-rays. So today's view is nowadays changing, and that instead of going for the multiple views, inlet, outlet, Judeth's views, AP view, so many films. So people are nowadays going for CT scan for better comprehension of the fractures. This is the today's scenario. So that is why CT scan is more important for planning the fractures and better understanding of the configurations. So that is one. Now regarding the fracture, we will talk something about the mechanism of fractures. So mechanism of fractures and the damage to the acetabulum, you all know that this acetabular fracture is by and large is a very high velocity trauma. Acetabular fractures by and large is a high velocity trauma. And most of the time, the young generations which are the victims essentially come following a huge trauma, particularly road traffic accidents. And you will understand that this acetabular fractures depends on the force working on two ways. One, through the femur, one axis, or another is through the axis of the neck. Now we are going deep. That is your basic understanding I have told you. Basic means your basic knowledge about the pelvis, this orientation to the ilium with that of your operator, the orientations of your anterior column, posterior column, the importance of the Judith views. Now let us try to understand about the basic mechanism of the fracture, how the fracture can take place. And if you understand this point, probably it will be easy to understand in the future also. What I am talking about that, this force which is going to cause damage to the acetabulum essentially coming from two ways. One, through the femur, another through the neck axis. Now, through the femur, what is coming? Particularly, we know that the posterior dislocation, the acetabular fractures, is mostly because of the stress coming from the long axis of the femur and hitting the bone posteriorly. Now, extensivity of the damage on the acetabulum, particularly posterior lip and the posterior column, in a walking like this, it depends upon the position of the head, whether it is adduction or whether it is rotation. If it is adduction and interrotations, probably damage will be less. But if it is more adduction, the damage will be more. So in a situation like this, probably only the acetabular lip may get injured, while But while you are talking about the column, this is mostly done while this patient is more or less abduction or like this. The work is like this, though it will cause more damage to this part. But mind it, this force only is not enough. The position of the head is important, and on the other hand, the quality of the bone is also equally important. If the quality of the bone is soft, force is working like this, so necessary damage will be more. That is one point. Number two is another I am telling, see, if the limb is internally rotated, try to understand, if the foot is, or if it is internally rotated, so damage will be there in the posterior column of posterior limb. On the other hand, if the limb is externally rotated,